So they try to give me a life sentence. So my first plea was 30 years. How you doing, man? I'm Mo, you know, Mr. Head Up. I'm from Baltimore, and that's just me.
Where did you grow up? You grew up in Baltimore?
Yeah, I grew up in the west side of Baltimore, you know, back and forth from Baltimore to Pennsylvania. I travel all around, you know, I've been all around. Majority of my life, I've been in the system, though. Since a kid, I've been in the system since I was 13 years old, in and out of the system. The longest I've been home on the streets is 2 years in the last 21 years. I've been in the system all my life, man. That's all I know. You know, we grew up, you know, rough, man. We grew up hard, man. You know, survival of the fittest, you know. So I grew up in the streets, but I was raised by my parents as well. I got a mother and a father. But, you know, I ran away from home. I was one of them kids that learned the hard way. I ain't listened to my parents. I had a good mother. My father was in the streets too, but, you know, I chose the wrong life, man. I chose the wrong life. I ain't gonna lie, though, like all my life, man, I wanted to be a hustler. So I was addicted to the fast money.
From watching other people that was around you?
That and my father, you get what I'm saying? My father introduced me to a lifestyle at a very young age. You know, and I was really trying to be the best of that type of person. I ain't want to be no sport player. I wanted to be a gangster. That's all I wanted to be.
Did you ever think you were untouchable when you was making all that money and stuff?
Yeah, I really did. I thought I was untouchable. Definitely. I definitely thought I was untouchable. I ain't trust nobody. If you wasn't amongst none of the people that I deal with, I ain't trust you. I ain't let people get in. I don't hang around new people. I don't trust nobody. I ain't trust nobody. That's why I'm still alive to this day. Hey, because people have been trying to do stuff to me. People was trying to kill me. I was trying to do stuff to people. You know, I just been in a lot of stuff growing up. And it's so crazy because when I was a kid, my mother, she moved me to get out of Baltimore. She moved me to a whole nother state in Pennsylvania to leave Baltimore alone because I was already converted to the streets. So I went to a whole nother state and made my way through that state and started doing the same thing I was doing, running the streets in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I was in York, Harrisburg, Lancaster. I'm road running through different states. That's how I move. Different cities, different states. Well, make a long story short, I was under investigation from the feds. A group of guys, you know, a little team we had put together out of town. We went to the town and, you know, we started migrating. We linked up with the locals and, you know, we started, you know, making our way through the city and we made a clique. So now this is the clique along with the local people of this clique. And we ran the whole city. You get what I'm saying? So when we ran the whole city, when you run in the whole city, especially coming from out of town, when you run in the whole city, man, it brings death. It brings death and it brings money and it brings a lot of hate and envy.
Feel it? Did you know something was off?
No, because I came home. I had did 5 years in the state. Then I came home from the state. And I was home for 2 years from the state, and I got snatched up in a federal indictment.
What'd you get locked up for when you went to the state?
Drugs.
Can you tell us about that?
Like I told you, man, all my life I've been, you know, hustling. So I served the dude some drugs. So in the mix of me serving him, he was working for a confidential informant. So they set me up and tried to hit me with a roadblock. And I ran, and they found drugs. And, you know, I took them on a high-speed chase and all that, and they caught me.
What was going through your head when all this was happening?
I'm in my mind, I'm trying to get away. You know, I was young. You know, we talking about this is like I've been gone 12 years right now. So this was damn near 20 years ago. I'm 37 right now. So back then I was 19, 20. One thing jail has taught me is to stand your ground, man, and don't show no signs of weakness. So when I first came to jail, I used to wear my heart on my sleeve. I used to, you know, walk with my emotions around showing. So jail really taught me how to, you know, keep my poker face on and not let people know what you're thinking. My grandfather always told me, don't let nobody know what you're thinking. In prison, men use that as a sign of weakness. That's why I don't really confide in people. Yeah, I don't confide in people because people will try to use that as a weakness against you to hurt you or sabotage your character.
That first time you got locked up, did you see anybody lose their life?
Yeah, I seen a lot of people die in prison. I seen a lot of people get murdered in prison. Yeah.
What causes that?
Pride, man, ego. A lot of dudes being here running with pride, man, trying to hide behind a facade. And a lot of dudes don't be really built like that.
How big is respect in there?
Respect is everything. See, in the feds is different than the state because And the feds is built off a chain of command. It's a respect level. It's not like the state when you in the feds, because the feds is based off where you from. So you got cars, you got cliques, and it's based on for cities. You got Baltimore, you got down south, you got the gang members, you got the Muslims, you got different states, down south boys, like, you get what I'm saying? So people is from all over the world, and everybody is trying to make it seem like they city is the hardest. I gave my life to Allah, man. So, you know, I really focus on my religion.
When people talk about gangs in prison, some people associate Muslims with a gang.
It's not a gang, you know, it's a brotherhood more than anything. It's a brotherhood that's structured off of unity and structure. See, I ain't come to jail and turn Muslim. You get what I'm saying? My grandfather Muslim, my father Muslim. So I was raised under a Muslim background. This was something that was already in my culture. Now, if you right, you wrong, regardless if you Muslim, Blood, Crip, BGF, regardless of what you is. At the end of the day, you know, I fear God. I fear no man but God, and I worship and I associate no partners with him.
Yeah.
I don't associate partners with him no more. Well, you know, a lot of people put my name and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and was saying that, you know, I was distributing drugs and I was, you know, amongst a leader organization of murder for hire, you know, and gang activity. So this is what put me under the underscope as one of the people that fall in this type of indictment. So they try to give me a life sentence. So my first plea was 30 years. I didn't take it. So I told them people that, you know, y'all don't have no evidence on me to do this much time because y'all haven't. I just came home. I was only home for 2 years. I was doing good. Came home for my last bid. I got married. You get what I'm saying? Like, I started focusing on my family. You know, I got a daughter. So, you know, I was really trying to leave the streets alone. You get what I'm saying? But it was still tying me up in certain stuff.
What's that do to a man who's facing, you know, life?
I knew I wasn't going to do life in prison. I just didn't think I was going to be locked up this long. Because them people didn't have no evidence on me. Them people ain't had nothing on me. My whole indictment is based off of hearsay. I didn't get caught with nothing. I'm really sitting in jail, man, for hearsay. All these years I've been away. I didn't get caught with nothing. But you had dudes snitching. You had dudes getting caught where he got caught with a half a brick. He got caught with a couple keys, couple grams, couple pistols, couple murders. And they just giving out names just to work a deal with the government. And that's what I be trying to tell these people. This how it works.
Now, when they finally got you, what they do, a raid in your house?
Yeah, I was living in Baltimore. So they kicked my door in because I had an indictment out of Washington, D.C. for Pennsylvania. So they kicked my door in my house in Baltimore, and I was in the house sleep. They kicked my door at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and raided my house and came snatch me up.
What was your family's reaction to all this?
Man, they was traumatized. They had the helicopters outside. They had the whole block surveillance off. Like, you'd have thought Wayne Perry or what's his name? Pablo Escobar was living in there or something, man. The way they kicked my door, and like I was just the most corruptest guy in the United States.
You know, they took you to jail. You learned all this. How big are the charges you was actually facing?
Yeah, my face was on the news. So I was warning on the news for ATF1. So they was looking for me all over the news.
And you say you actually beat this, you know?
Yeah, I got found not guilty. I took the feds to trial for 8 weeks straight. I was going to trial for 8 weeks straight. About 12 of us. It was 21 of us that got indicted. 12 of us went to trial.
What was the hardest day during trial for you?
I thought I was ready to win. I thought I was ready to beat him. Because when they found me not guilty on the RICO Act, but they found me guilty on the drug conspiracy and the drug distribution. So I got the 1962D, that's the RICO conspiracy, and I got the 841 and 846 law, and that's the drug conspiracy and the drug distribution. So y'all found me not guilty on the 1962D. So if y'all found me not guilty on the 1962D, how could y'all find me guilty on the drug conspiracy when y'all said I didn't conspire with them people in the RICO conspiracy? So who I conspired with? It don't make sense. If y'all saying I'm not a part of this RICO conspiracy, I shouldn't be a part of a drug conspiracy either. Because the RICO conspiracy consists of the same drug conspiracy. That's the type of games the government play.
What did you learn from fighting the federal government? What did you learn from all that?
what I really learned, man. See, a lot of people say you can't beat the feds, right? They got an 85% conviction rate. They really have a 90% conviction rate and an 85% overturn rate. Okay, so what I've learned, like, you could beat the feds. Long as everybody stand tall, you could beat the feds, because one thing I've learned with the feds built their investigation off of hearsay. So they built their evidence off of the witness. The feds can indict a piece of paper. They gonna make an accusation. It take two people to conspire. They can put you in a conspiracy off of two people. You and somebody else. That's a conspiracy. That's where it get tricky.